Okay, welcome to ANZCRL Combined Racing League's LMPH GT3 Endurance Series. Round one here at the Hockenheim 10 hour. In the commentary booth we got Huds 21 joining myself, Woody Lizard. Welcome. Oh mate, I'm very excited for this. We're going to have a simulated 10 hour race here at the Nürburgring. Times 2 hours with times 5 time progression. Currently we've got the GT3s out on track for the qualifying session, which is a 10-minute session for the GT3 cars. And then following them will be the LMPH cars for their 10 minutes. So it should get very exciting the last 5 minutes here of the GT3s. Yeah, definitely. It's it's a long race, 2 hours, but obviously the further up the field you can start, obviously the less hassle you have into that turn one, which can be very tricky, but there's a lot of runoff. But as we do see sometimes, cars clip and they might have a spin and end up on the inside wall, which causes a bit of damage. Yeah, well, they've only got this run up here into the hairpin, really the time to really have a break. And we know the LMPHs, well, they're not going to have a break at all. They're going to be wrestling that car with their KERS on and going as hard as they can through there. So they've got to manually press the buttons. So yeah, they're going to be kept on their toes, that's for sure. In the GT3s, I think Metal Drive in the number 9 K-Pax Racing McLaren is going to be a big contender for sure. Obviously he's just coming back onto the track there after having a moment. He'll be pushing hard, but yeah, he's usually a pretty stable, consistent driver. And we know his teammate Dado Racer, he's been showing some quality pace by topping the timesheets during the practice during the week. So they're in the K-Pax Racing McLaren. And one's obviously Dado's in the blue and Metal Drive in the yellow. We'll distinguish the two. But you can't also forget also Devil X. From last week, how fast he was in the Porsche GTE. He's still staying with Porsche. He's signed with Porsche, and he's in the 911 GT3R in the 91 BAM Esports car. So he's already got a little bit of front damage there. I don't know if that's been probably not the best thing to be trying to do qualifying with a bit of that, unless he's been in and they haven't repaired it on screen. But his car might be fine. Oh, definitely, and we did see him, he ran out of fuel actually in that session, didn't he, in session 3, I think it was. Obviously, the strategy didn't work, so hopefully they've got all those strategies lined up properly. These GT3 cars have got another 5 minutes remaining only in their qualifying session. At the moment, topping the sheets, we've got Dado Racer in the number 6 K-Pax Racing McLaren, 650S, and then next after that, only 0.077 seconds is this man here, Commander Jim, in one of the Audis. The Team Virtual Drivers. He's actually teaming up with Night Havoc. Yeah, it looks like he's going back to the pits there. He's happy with that time. Yeah. So he's set the time there. At the moment, as I said, Metal Drive, still trying to get a lap in. He's had a lot of invalidated laps by the looks of things. Still at the bottom of the timesheets. you'll see all the LMPH cars still haven't set a time. They're waiting for 10 minutes remaining, and their qualifying session will start. Yeah, okay. I might just, before we get into too much, I think we might just have to check our audio. I'm just going to go to our audio here. We can't hear you, so you may have to select your that microphone. Even that's, yeah, we forgot to do that. That little tick in the party chat. Yeah, go Xbox. Go to the Xbox button and then go up to the party, and then you should be able to enable your audio in the party chat. The little box up the top.
I'm talking for nothing.
Talking for nothing. Yeah. That's exactly right. It's a job of love, mate, and we love it.
We do.
And but at least the people, the viewers watching now, can actually hear your voice, Hud. So
good.
That's good to hear.
G'day, guys. Finally.
Yep. So yeah. So obviously you're just talking about what was it, Commander Jim? You're saying that is one of your Weary Knight.
Weary Knight would be my pick of the bunch, and I think he'll have a good battle with Dado. Like I said before, if Devil can keep it on the track and keep consistent lap times, I think he'll be right there for a podium as well. Unsure about Commander Jim. He hasn't had a lot of running on project cars to my knowledge recently, so
yeah, he's had a little bit of a break, but he's come back. So
yeah.
Obviously he's a handy driver.
And
Night Havoc.
Yep.
In that Audi, I think at the moment they're basically topping the sheets. Oh no, they're not. We've got Night Havoc second, and then we've got Commander Jim, I think, in fourth. So
Night Havoc, he won the Super 2s last year. Is that correct?
I believe he did. Yes.
I reckon it was Night
something
Havoc.
I'll have to.
Yep.
To go back and have a quick look at.
He's quick here, that's for sure. The Dado's the second in front. See what Devil X has done.
Again, I don't know if that damage is actually hampering him, because obviously he's not. I thought he'd probably be picking up a little bit more time, but yeah. So just to answer, yeah, Night Havoc did win the Super 2 the Super 2 of the V8 Supercars last year.
Yep.
And we've also got Dark Lord actually filling in for Dark Racing 40 in the number 2 Porsche in the LMPH cars.
Yep.
He came third in that championship too, so he's going to be one to look out for.
Yeah, he's a good driver. Yep, excellent driver.
And my fellow teammate in those supercars as well was Illogical Sports. He's actually in the number 6 Toyota Gazoo Racing Toyota. Pairing up with Commander Cirrus 53. This championship is actually brought to you by Commander Cirrus. So we've got just under a minute remaining of this qualifying session. We've got 2 cars of the GT3s. They parked up, and we've got the remaining 6 cars out on track. Actually, no, we've only got 5. Metal Drive hasn't even set a time yet. So that's my prediction of him going good in the race.
It's not going well. Yeah, you might have to have a rethink on that one, mate.
Well, let's just say one of the team cars might win with Dado there on pole at the moment with that 139.260, which is an outstanding lap. Track record around here was in 2017 in a with Chuck Racing doing a 126.999 in a former Renault 3.5. We haven't got too many records of the fast laps. We've had quite a few races around here at the Nürburgring. I think that's just his line into the corner there. Huds just tries to open the corner up a little bit. But
I just wonder if that car is actually damaged, because he's not usually that slow unless he's just going on a real heavy fuel load and not even concerned with qualifying, which is not really like him, is it?
Oh no, but this will be his last run now, because everyone else now has to start coming in as the LMPHs now can take to the track. So this is where it all heats up for the next 10 minutes. The big boys are out now. And where did he end up finishing there? In 6th by the looks of things.
Yep.
Devil. So you'll see all the GT3 cars going to return back into the pits. Their qualifying session is now over. We're getting back with the track record of a prototype of an LMP2 is a 128.610 where obviously the track record of a 26.9 will be absolutely smashed here tonight with these LMPHs. They're probably doing, what do you think, Huds? I think we've seen in practice around 120 something,
I think
123s.
one, I've got it written down here actually. Cirrus was the quickest the other night, 22.505, and Matty Seeking was a 22.560, and then it dropped back a little bit to Nürburger and Dark Lord. So, yeah, well, they're going to break that tonight for sure.
Yeah, you can just see how much these things just stick to the ground. They're true race cars, these prototypes. As they've just coming into, I think one of the Audis have already started their hot lap, and Commander Series coming into this very popular stadium section of Hockenheim.
Yep.
Back in the old days, Huds, you all remember the Formula 1 out in the forest, and they'd be coming into this last chicane, and then they come into this little stadium section, and it used to be amazing with the crowd. The roar
of the crowd was incredible, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because would have been able to hear the scream of the Formula 1 cars coming through the forest too, so they would have been just getting excited as.
Matty Seeking's impressed, hasn't he, since coming to this track the other night. He's done really well.
Yeah, well, originally he was going to be in the GT3 class, but he's at the last minute decided to join Simo Racing in the Team Yoast's Audi racing team, and mate, as we know, look at the pedigree in Simo Racing. He won the Daytona 24 Hours last week with Highlander. He won it the previous year in the GTE class as well with Highlander, so he's got a very capable teammate there. And just see Dark Lord just pulling away because he's not on that lap as who are we looking at? Logical Sports now. To start his actual first lap. So we're getting primed up now. We've only just over 6.5 minutes remaining of qualifying, and then we're going to be into a 2-hour race, simulating a 10-hour race for the Hockenheim 10-hour.
Yep.
2 mandatory pit stops for the GT3 cars. They must take the mandatory pit stops. If they don't take the 2 mandatory pit stops, a 1-minute penalty will be added to the end of time race. The LMPH cars, well, they're going to stop more than twice anyway, or they'll be stopping twice at least. So there's no restrictions for the LMPHs. We've added that in just to make a little bit of a strategy there. They do not have to actually pit for fuel, the GT3s, in their second stop if they think they can make it, and they don't need to change tyres either if they wish not to change tyres. But the conditions here, Huds, I think are fairly warm. It's summer. We've got the date set in July, so it's a European summer.
Yep.
So I could imagine the track would be fairly
sticky,
fairly warm.
Yep.
You think that these they'd get a punishment, these tyres. There's a lot of turning around this track, as we said. You mentioned at the start, I think when your microphone was turned off, it's a very busy track.
Very busy. Overtaking is going to be interesting with the faster LMPHs and the GT3s, just how they're going to negotiate it, because you can bin it pretty easy. I think if you're not careful, you've got to show a bit of patience.
Yeah, definitely. You've got turn 2 is definitely an area where you're looking at an overtake, and then obviously up into the hairpin after that straight. And we all know how important coming out of that stadium section is to get a good run onto the start finishing straight too. Really sets you up.
Oop. Bit of understeer.
Yeah, coming in a bit hot as well. Some of these guys, obviously, they're getting used to that they need to manually engage the KERS as well. So they got to manually, I believe, keep hold of it as well.
Yeah.
As soon as they let go of it, it turns off.
Yep. And that energy harvests through the braking,
Exactly, mate. It's all comes through the braking. So the more these cars, like obviously at Le Mans, it's one of those things where you can use them down the Muse Lane straight, and you exhaust all your curves, and then you hit the brakes hard for the chicanes, but they don't quite generate the full amount of curves. So it's a bit of management.
Yeah, yeah.
But I reckon around this track they'll have full curves when they need to use them.
21. Logical just done a 21.9.
That is absolutely flying.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's definitely got that Toyota Gazoo number 6 by the horns.
Let's just have a look at Cirrus now. He's coming up.
His teammate.
Oh, he's whacked it on pole, 21.2.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yep.
So those two Toyotas are leading the two Audis.
Whoop.
And then the Porsches are a little bit further behind. The Porsches are a little bit tricky to actually get the speed out of them, but there's definitely a lot of speed that you can get out of these cars. It's just the way you've got to set them up. So it's a 5-round series, and going to go throughout the year. So it's in between. This is actually in the side series for ANZ's Combined Racing League, and so that'll be running all the way throughout the year, with the last rounds being on the 18th, or not the 18th of September. Sorry, I can't find it.
I think it's November it finishes. Is that
November? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's certainly gone under the radar, this series, because of all the hype that was surrounding Daytona, and rightly so, but this is going to be a hell of a race, I think you'll find.
Oh yeah. So Commander Sirius looks like he's going to try and see if he can get under the 21s into the 20s.
He's not happy with 21 too.
He's got 2 minutes to do it, so he'll be able to do this lap and another if his tyres and he's got enough fuel. Okay, so some of the blokes have just joined on here, just asking how long the race is. It's actually a 2-hour race, ×5 time progression, which will give us the Hockenheim 10-hour. So the schedule of the start is 7 o'clock in the morning, and so that'll obviously run all the way to 5 p.m. in the afternoon in game.
I would have thought his confidence would be an all-time high at the moment, Cirrus, after that dramatic finish to the GTE class at Daytona last weekend.
Oh yeah, we were live there calling it Huds, both you and me, and what a race that was, right to the flag. Unfortunately, the Porsche of Dark Racing,
he done it, 20.7.
Gear 3 Gaming. Oh. Wow, there you go. Actually running out of fuel on the NASCAR bankings, turn 3 and 4. And Commander Cirrus and Jetto in the P51 Sim Sports Chevrolet Corvette comes through and overtakes on the outside out of the last banking and into the tri-oval and takes victory, with Darky just clutching it all the way to the end to still take second. What a dramatic finish it was last week though, Huds.
It was incredible. Yeah, it really was. And it was probably about half an hour into the hour session of session 4 that Cirrus spun on turn 1, and you sort of thought maybe that's it, but no, he stuck to his guns and he really toughed it out and just kept going, didn't he? And it paid dividends.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just see if I can get these times up and take a couple of screenshots.
Second quicker.
So so on pole we're going to have Commander Cirrus in that Toyota with Illogical Sports in second with his teammate. Matty Seeking and Simo Racing second line of the grid, and then the 2 Porsches of Dark Lord and Nürburger on the 3rd row. So that'll be the LMPH class, and then we'll have the GT3s a little bit further back for the start, with Dado Racer on pole with Night Havoc in the Audi. And then we have that nice throaty Bentley Continental of Weary Night in the P51 Sim Sports Continental, with Commander Jim in the second of the Audis, teammates with Havoc. On the 3rd row on the inside, we'll have Tim and Jack subbing in at the moment in that other second Continental, the Bentley. And then Devil X in the Porsche, got it on the outside there of row 3. And then the final row we'll have Lolux 53 in the number in the Notch Motorsports Ferrari, with Metal Drive 05 not actually set in any time in that qualifying session in the second of the K-Max McLarens. So we'll continue on to onto the race so the guys can get started. So here we go. So they're going to be on a formation HUDs lap. So they're going to run it. Don't worry about that fuel loads at the moment. It's why they're setting up. You can leave it on, sorry, but what I'm saying, it's not 18. It's actually, they'll be loading in their setup, so you should see them come back up.
Yep.
So they'll do their formation lap, and what they've decided for this series is once the game releases them on the green flag, they're going to hold formation of side by side until the leader takes the start-finish line, and then it's race on. And the GT3 cars, they're actually going to be holding have a little gap behind, but once they see those GT3 cars go, they're going to take off as well, just to try to alleviate a little bit of congestion into turn 1 and then up into turn 2 as well. And if there is an incident with the LMPHs, at least the GT3s will be able to have a bit of time to avoid any incident. Now, Nürburgring. I mean, no, not
Nürburgring.
No.
Oh, Hockenheim
thinking
ring.
of Hockenheim.
Yeah.
Hockenheim. Obviously 17 corners.
16.
16. I thought it was 17.
Oh, I think there's a bit of conjecture about it from what I read. 16 turns.
Take us away. Yep.
I haven't got a lot of information. The length of the circuit is 4.574 kilometres. And it was revamped in 2002, I believe, from the old Grand Prix circuit that went through the forest.
Yes, I remember seeing some of the old classics there of back in with Ed Centre and Nigel's Mansell when back in 91 and 92 and onwards, until they actually changed this shorter location to make it more accessible to the fans as well. The fans obviously couldn't they didn't really access too much up into the forest either. I don't think there was any viewing. Can't remember if there was any stands or anything. I think they just ran off into the forest and then came back.
I think it was not just for viewing. I think it was safety concerns as well. I think it was 2001. I did read. I can't recall exactly what happened. John Lacey was involved in an incident, and there was a couple of other guys as well, Pedro Diniz, and they were concerned about safety as well. And plus, kept the fans in the dark for minute and a half of the lap. I'm not exactly sure of the lap times around the old circuit. It was exciting. I remember watching it back in the 90s, where they put out the witches' hats on the chicanes, and they're slowing down from 330, 40 Ks, and must have been pretty hairy.
Crazy
stuff.
Mate.
Yeah.
And those cars, like they basically hang on for your life, mate.
Zero downforce.
Times.
You had to set the car up for the forest sections and worry about the stadium section when you got to it.
So, I wonder if we're going to have any team strategies playing out here. Will Logic will hold off a little bit just to try and back up those Audis. We know the Audis are fairly competitive. They've been the outstanding car during Le Mans every year that we take to Le Mans at ANZCRL Combined Racing League. But, the Toyotas have shown that they're very fast around this shorter layout instead of the long straights at Le Mans.
So these fuel loads are showing on the speedo, is that correct?
That'll be correct now, yes.
Okay, so he's got 18 litres, so he's going to be...
So Nürburger, we do find sometimes seems to forget to load up his tunes properly, so he might get he gets too a bit excited. He might have been readied up before he actually looked at his tune and forgot to reload. So you can see there's a lot of fuel in these cars, in the GT3s. So Simo's gone for a mid-tank as well, or is that the diesel? So I think they've got less fuel, is that right? What's his teammate got?
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, so that must be just what they the diesels. They don't use as much fuel.
That's right.
Here we go. We're about to start round 1 here of the endurance series for the Hockenheim 10 hour. They'll run it up to the line. They won't go up the green. Here we go. Commander Cirrus on pole. And this race is go. Clicked his heels and off he goes.
Yep.
And also,
where's the logical gone?
Sports, he's missed the start.
Is that Matty Seeking?
Third with Matty Seeking.
It is too.
Having a good dive down the inside.
Ooh,
as one of the Porsches. Looks like Nürburger's made the move on Simo in the background. And Dark Lord was wrestling with that Porsche as well. I don't know if he kept it on the track. I think, he has, so that's good. He seemed to have had a little bit of a tank slapper. But all is good. Here we got a challenge up front again with Simo.
So Logical Sports got around Matty Seeking already. Might have made an error there.
What a hectic little start. It's going to be hard to call this race. There's so much can go on as, there goes Matty running wide into, I think it was turn 11 there.
Deep breath, Matty, deep breath.
This is turn 11 now. Oh, look at this. Side by side. What's going on here? Here comes the Porsche. Trying to go around the outside Nürburger through turn 11, the Mobil 1 corner. That was a ballsy move.
Yeah.
He means business. He's obviously on low fuel. He knows he's on low fuel, so he's actually got that little advantage. So he's going to try and see if he can...
he's have a crack early.
Have a crack early. He'll be the first one in, obviously, to load up those fuel tanks. Not too sure on the fuel burn, how much fuel they're going to have to use throughout the race, and maybe you might find some of these cars might have needed a splash and dash at the end, so he's
Logical
maybe
Sports
start with less fuel.
Taking over the lead from Commander Cirrus at the moment. So maybe he's run wide somewhere.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. They're changing every part of the lap, as we can maybe have a look at some of the GT3s. We've got obviously Devil X, where he's at the moment. He's third in class.
He's third in class, yep.
And it looks like
Havoc. Dado has gone to the pits already.
So he's hopefully he hasn't had some steering problems like he's been suffering all this time in these endurance racing. It's not going to be good, but we've got the team virtual drivers, 1 and 2 in the GT3 class at the moment.
That's a fantastic looking paint job, that one. That day glow green on the Audi R8.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
That's
looking
really
cars.
fantastic.
Now I could imagine these GT3s.
Now Cirrus is back. Cirrus has gone off. He's back to 6th.
Yeah, so things aren't going well at the moment with Cirrus.
Started well, is he?
Pushing too hard. He's got to settle himself into a groove. This could be the reason though, like Nürburger now in 4th as well. So he's going well. His teammate just behind him covering. Here they come now. Looks like Dado is actually definitely looking at that there. He looks like he's struggling with that steering wheel.
Yeah, more feedback moving, dramas, yeah.
Yeah, moving around on him, even in a straight line. He's finding it hard, I think.
Yeah,
got a bit of front end damage.
That's not damage. That's that force feedback issue again that he suffered at Daytona. Was it session 2 or yeah?
Yeah, session 2 cost him big time. Yeah, unfortunately. Commander Cirrus has already got a penalty as well, so obviously he's had a big off-track moment or something's gone on there.
Tim and Jack.
Nice heating up here. Look, yeah,
Tim and Jack's running pretty strongly. The two Bentley Continentals, they're running right there. Tim's right there with Weary. Big fuel loads.
Oh, Medal's now running wide in turn one. That turned turn 6 at the hairpin, I think. Oh no, that wasn't turn 6, was it? Or was it? Yes, it is. Sorry, it is turn 6.
Weary Knight's got the big fuel load.
So this championship too is actually a championship mainly on the car and not the drivers. So there are reserve drivers available for the cars. So it can be a full-on team effort over this 5-round championship. And definitely going to need the help of all the drivers to get them through. We're going to have a mixture of times races. We've got a couple of 3-hour races thrown in there, a couple of 2.5 hours. So yeah, this is one of the shorter races, 2 hours to start the series. We can hear this Bentley Continental, just the throaty sound of the Bentley.
Chasing the screaming sound of the Porsche.
Yeah, that's right.
Logical's cleared off.
Yeah, there he goes. So he's already lapping
seconds.
the GT3 cars. They're going to be lapping them quite consistently, as Metal Drive's also in the pits in that K-Pax car. So my predictions of them going all right. He's starting well with them both last in the GT3 class with Metal and Dado. Things haven't started well for them. Could be a long 2-hour race for these guys if they can't sort things out. So it'll be interesting to see how Commander Cirrus comes through. He's got obviously the Matty Seekin in the Team Yost Audi in front of him.
Oh.
See what it is him trying to press the curves button at the same time as turning.
Yeah.
Obviously it's throwing him out because he's obviously not gripping that wheel properly.
Four-car train there.
Yeah, with the Ferrari as they're trying to put a lap on the
Low Lux
Motorsport car. Yep. Just running wide. Oh, there goes one of the cars in. That's who was that went in the pits? Was that Matty? I mean, was that Cirrus in the pits?
He is.
He's in the pits.
Sure, the camera guy's doing it. Oh, there he is. Yep.
Try and pick him up, but it's going to be hard. There we go. I don't know if this is a drive-through or not. Did he have a drive-through?
No, I reckon he's just going to go full tanks and he's going to go for a decent stint. I reckon that's what his plan is now.
Just see if he's actually... there
Plus
we go.
He may have a little bit of damage as well.
So these Toyotas burn roughly about 1.6 litres a lap around this track. The Toyota and the Porsche. Not too sure about the Audi. What we might do is if he's in traffic, but we may as well keep an eye on Simo, second in the race. And what we can do is we maybe see what fuel load he burns, because he's coming up to the end of this lap.
He's the quickest man on track at the moment by 0.6 of a second. 124.399. I mean, he's in traffic as well. He's just slicing through him. Oh,
mate, he's definitely slicing through him.
I think that was Tim that just flew off the track there. Or maybe it was Weary Knight. That was Weary Knight, yep.
Weary. So wasn't he? Oh no, he wasn't.
No, race, was he? He's got a heavy car, but Yeah, I'm surprised to see him back there at the moment. Just go back to Simo. 1-9. Oh, sorry. 20, oh, yeah. Oh, another one's got. That's Dado again flying off the circuit.
Yeah, he's going to struggle. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't retire if he's having so much trouble.
That's a shame, that is.
He might have better luck actually if he goes off and gets onto his controller.
Controlling, yeah.
I know it's a bit hard, but geez, at least he can finish the race.
You can imagine the language that's coming out of there at the moment.
Yeah. We might just go to Simo so we don't miss out on him finishing his lap.
He's dropped off a little bit, about a second and a half, because he had to go through all that traffic. So once he's got a bit of clear road in front of him, I think you can see it. The time's coming down. Oop.
Or even through the traffic that last lap, he was still faster than
he was fast, but he was just
insane.
Yeah.
You just see his lines that he takes. He's just so smooth as well. Makes it look easy. So here we go, over 38.2. Thanks, I got that record there, so we'll just see how much they're burning. They're 1.5 litres they're using in the Audi.
That's
what did I say the Porsches were using?
I'm not sure.
But they've got a bigger fuel tank, so you've got to take that into consideration as well. They're using about 1.6 litres.
So this is the Toyota. Did we work out what they're using or not really?
Oh, we'll stay on the Toyota and we can just do one here now.
Yep.
That's the leader of the race, so we might as well do a lap around on board with him.
Yep.
We've got a long way to go on the race. We've only done 12 minutes so far of this 2-hour motor race, so there's going to be a lot to get through.
A lot of social distancing in the crowd there by the looks.
Yeah, it does actually.
Doing the right thing.
I think Illogical's trying to do the same thing to Simo. He's got what, a 5-second distance on him. So.
He's just upped it, hasn't he, in the last lap and a half. Illogical. He's holding that 5.5 second lap lead at the moment.
So you'll be able to see here where he's using the curves. He'll obviously use it coming out of here. He'll get onto it down the straighty up into turn 6, the hairpin.
Not used it yet.
Yeah, it's not going down. I wonder if it's not actually showing us. It should show us that he's using it. Maybe he's on fuel conserving as well, but that's actually using the battery though, so it's not using any more fuel, is it?
No. He's just used it then because it's just gone down to 249 all of a sudden. I think it's just not showing on our screen. Yeah, he's using it as we go. You can see the number, but the blue bar's not going anywhere, so just coming up to low lux now.
Is that Ferrari? The distinctive sound of the Ferrari, the GT3.
And he's just edging away from Simo at the moment.
This turn 12 here is a ripper of a corner. It's sort of cambered, as you can see. It's banked sort of thing. It's like a berm in like a motocross track or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, berm, and you can really get into it. So we'll just stay on him here and just see what his numbers are. So that's about 1.6 litres, exactly what we were told by one of the engineers. So that's 1.6 litres a lap.
Spot on.
Let's have a look. What else have we got? Any battles happening around on the track at the moment?
Let's have a look at Commander Jim. He is, where is he? 3rd in class? 4th.
4th in class, but he's just trailing Tim and Jack in that P51 Sim Sports Continental Bentley at number 87.
He did pit, didn't he, Commander Jim? Well, no, he didn't. That was Metal Drive.
So.
Yeah,
Metal Drive did. As we just had Commander Cirrus get through them.
So Devil's actually 2nd in class at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, you're correct.
So he's actually he's looking pretty good.
just got a little bit loose on those curbs. You've got to be careful there, that turn 1. It really gets you back on the inline of that fence on the inside. It's Commander Sirius is coming back through the field because, as we know, he had that pit stop. Had an early pit stop.
He's still only got 55 litres of fuel, so it must have just been mostly for damage, or they're just going to run the car on half tanks, 3/4 tanks, whatever that is.
Not too sure. Yeah, just looking at some of the comments. Yeah, I hope I'm not cursing the K-Max team, but it looks like I have. Dado's back in the pits
Back in the
again,
pits
so,
again, no.
Yeah,
He's
no good. Someone else is behind there. It looks like the Bentley team or someone just waiting for someone, or there's another pit crew out behind Dado. Might be Nürburger coming in. That's who it is. So Nürburger's in. He only had 2 litres. He would have been able to maybe just get through with 1 extra lap if he didn't want to push it.
His fuel's only...
Would have been very risky.
I'm not sure of that... Oh, there it goes, sorry. The fuel sort of stopped and then it continues like that. It doesn't...
There goes Dado.
Hopefully it gets better for him, because he's got 1 hour and 45 to go, so...
I would say that, yeah, we just hopefully can, or otherwise he'll be giving up the ghost with endurance racing for a while, I think, if he can't have his wheels sorted out.
Doesn't look good. He's not on the gas there, is he? He is now, but...
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him because, as he said, he was topping the time sheets in practice.
Yeah.
And he did have it on pole as well, so he had the pace.
So Thursday night he didn't have any issues at all, and then it's just come on the race again.
Yeah, well, we've just had a disconnect as well, which I think might have been metal drive by the looks of that. So we've only got 13 now. So metal drive has actually dropped out. Which is unfortunate. As we've got, that's who's in that Porsche. We've got Dark Lord subbing for Dark Racing 40 in that number 2 Porsche. 5th in class. Trying to chase down Sirius.
Back in the pits again.
Wow.
He's got some dramas.
This is not going to plan for the Toyota team at all. Logical Sports is out in front in the leading, in the number 6 Toyota.
Let's have a look at Matty Seeking, see how he's going. Quick through there. Oop. Bit of lag, I think.
Yeah, it's just these cars are so quick around this circuit. You know, they're hard at work, so obviously either Sirius is getting caught up with a bit, and Weary Knight's in as well, so maybe he got involved with Weary Knight, who knows, putting a lap on Weary because he's in the pits too, so don't know if that was related.
Excuse me. He's all back and refreshed after his holiday, Matty Seeking. Running
Missed Daytona.
Yep.
He really didn't want to miss out. He really wanted to race there at Daytona, but one of the events that he wanted to do was on a holiday.
Missed that perky personality around the place and the parties. Loves a good chat and a laugh, does the boy.
Definitely. As Nürburger's back in the
Back
pits
in the
as well.
pits again.
So these guys are either having problems with lap traffic or getting a bit of damage, or could even be some tyres. I'm not too sure, but 2 quick pit stops for Nürburger.
Commander Jim's coming up the back of Tim. Excuse me.
I think the exciting part of the race, obviously, is we've also got a couple of GT3s now. Actually, as Nürburger's dropping down the list here, as he's in the pits. But Commander Jim, this is not for position, I believe. Is he? He's
third in class.
1 minute 20 or something behind.
Oh, he is too. Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah. So, there's Devil.
But I don't think that's right, that timing. But anyway, not too sure. So he's last time we looked, Devil was 5 seconds behind Night Havoc. So he's dropped a little bit of time.
Back to 9 seconds.
Oh, it's looks like Lolux is there on the side of the road.
Oh, that's
Ferrari.
That's seen better days. That's not good.
He's crabbing very hard.
Yeah. That's. Oh, here we go again.
Yeah, struggling. He's obviously got it all wrong.
Parked it
somewhere.
We're down to 12. Lolux has gone.
So yeah, he's just gone straight into the pits at the same time. I don't know if he's taken someone else because we're down to 11 now. So we've lost someone else. So maybe Nürburger. Nürburger's gone as well.
He's gone as well.
So we've only got the 5 LMPHs, so they're dropping like flies at the moment. Tough conditions here at Hockenheim for this Hockenheim 10 hour. Drivers were probably wishing it was only 10 minutes by the sounds of it. But anyway, we've got Illogical well and truly commanding this race, but Simo Racing is just slowly edging back that lead that Illogical has had on him. And won't be long, I don't think, that we'll see those two scrapping it, especially during their pit stops after that. And Matty Seeking and both Dark Lord doing a good job there in 3rd and 4th. The pole's here to Commander Cirrus. He's had some troubles. He's had some unscheduled pit stops, and he's there now in 5th. So he's there taking up the pieces, and this might be him just coming through to put a
Had a nightmare so far.
Sorry, my controller just turned off on me, but we're back again.
Devil, very consistent so far. He's in the 142. Second quickest so far in the race, but consistent, which he needed to be.
Yeah,
and if they keep dropping, you know, he could end up anywhere.
Oh, true. Exactly right. So it'd just be interesting just to see what Dado can do with some of his times, if he can get that down into the 1 minute 40s again. Somewhere in the 1 minute 40s will be healthy, even if it's the 146, you know.
Yeah, he won't give up, no question. So how many GT3s we got left? 4? 5?
No, we've got more than that. We've got 6.
3, 4, 5, 6 left.
Yeah, 6
so we
and
lost
5.
We lost Lolux and we've lost 2 LMPHs. Yeah, that's right.
No, 1 LMPH, and we lost Metal Drive as well, Dado's teammate in the K-Max, the number 9 K-Max.
Oh, okay.
Right, it's K-Pax, I should say, K-Pax Racing.
K-Pax.
So there's Dado coming through here now. We'll just see, he's coming into the stadium section, into turn 11 here. Corner you really want to get right. You don't want to drift out too wide and get up onto the grass. You can see a lot of people have with a lot of that debris there on the left hand side of that track. Coming into turn 12. You've got to line up these two next right-handers really well to get a good run down the starting straight. At the moment, he doesn't look like he's wrestling that car like he has been down the straight, but it's still a 2:21, so it was slower than the last lap. So
super slow, no, it's not happening for him.
No,
2 weeks in a row,
unfortunately. So yeah, Lolux has confirmed there that he's retired from the race.
Yeah. He was saying beforehand that he was He's been under the weather for the last 3 or 4 days, so
Oh, mate, it's an effort for him just to try and take to the grid for a 2 hour when you're being crook, you know.
yeah, that's right.
Nothing worse. I remember doing one time at Silverstone, and I had a really sore eye, and mate, it was so hard to try and do it. I think it was a 2 hour race as well, and I almost gave it up after about 45 minutes. I was squinting. I was only looking through one eye basically, and but my eye ended up just settling down a little bit, and I was able to continue and finish the race. Didn't get a good result, but at least I finished, and that was the accomplishment there.
Yeah.
Commander Jim. Now this is all settled down, see, so that's Tim and Jack just in front. So yeah, before we were saying it was over a minute something behind, so didn't think that was right. So this is the battle for third. And Commander Jim obviously has his teammate. Oh no! He's the man leading the race in the GT3 class. So
10-15 seconds there, but he wouldn't be too fast about that. So he's got a heavy fuel load, so
yeah, he does. But that's everything. The Devil will be in the Porsche team. They'll be letting him know that obviously Night Havoc has slipped up. So keeping his pressure on. Yep. So
and he's in the 141 there.
Yeah, that's a previous lap.
He's running strongly, which is good to see. He deserves a good result.
Look at the rubbish there, just on the offside of the braking area into turn 12. It's going to make it hard for when the LMP2 cars or other cars come down to lap a car down the inside. They have to be careful of all that. Could cause them to understeer a little bit. It's only going to get worse during this race. Still got another hour and a half to go. We've had 3 dropouts. We had obviously Metal Drive retire first, and then pretty much at the same time we had Lolux and Nürburger retire, and Lolux retiring the GT3 Porsche. I mean Porsche, the Ferrari, sorry. And Nürburger retiring the number 1 Porsche team hybrid in the LMPH class. As we
look at the race leader now.
Yeah, he's got still plenty of fuel here to run this through.
So what do we say, 1.6 per lap roughly?
Yeah, pretty much.
So that would be... Oh, Massa's not that good.
What's he got now?
13, he's got just over 30 litres, so 14 laps? Is that right? No, 13,
about
12.
18 laps, I reckon. No, 18 laps and he'll be in, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think my Massa wasn't that good.
Haha, no, that's alright. Okay, so we've just looked at that data now in the 43, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's going good for him.
Yeah. Back on track, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope. Because he's got a little bit of time to make up on Weary Night, but if things can go well for him now, consistent laps for another hour and a half from him. And he loves getting behind the wheel and really getting in that zone. So if he can stay in that zone now, there's a good possibility of him being on the tail end of Weary by the end of the race, or even any other guys if they have a few issues throughout the race.
Yeah, there's going to be dramas ahead of him, I'm sure. He's got 120 litres, so he's got plenty of time out there.
Yeah, and the good thing is these other guys are going to be stopping, so he's going to gain a lot of time, and then when he comes to pit again, he's done his mandatory stop, so you only have to do a little splash, if anything, at the end.
Yep.
Don't think he's going to get to the end of the motor race with that fuel. It'll go close. But I tell you what, these GT3 drivers, they're earning that keep as well. They're going to be so busy with these LMPHs lapping them. They're getting lapped just every probably 4 or 5 laps or something like that, roughly.
Yeah.
5 or 6 laps.
Tim in.
Bit of damage. Coming in from 4th place as he was.
Cirrus is back in the pits again.
Yeah, well.
It's got to be more than maybe he's got some technical problems with his wheel. Oh no, that's damage.
There's damage there on that front. It looks like
damage.
it's crabbing a little bit.
That's crabbing as well, yeah.
Yeah. Not so bad, but yeah, it looks like he's obviously hit the wall somewhere. These cars don't like the damage.
No, that's
They're so aero dependent.
I'll be trying to be too hard, I think.
So Timmy's obviously coming too. Like this, it wouldn't be scheduled for Timmy, I don't think. So he's coming obviously as we've seen for Demi. So he's going to sit in there. So that's going to bring Dado right into the equation. It'll be interesting to see when he comes out in this number 87 P51 Sim Sports Bentley. Crew working hardly. Actually, Tim and Jack is actually subbing for Racing Banana 122 tonight.
Still in the pits. It's only 45 seconds now, and he's still in the pits. But Dado, yeah, you're right. He's just coming back into it.
So we've even got the driver. He's had the time.
This is a long stop.
Commander Cirrus has had time to chat into the stream that it's tough out there. So, you know, he's really feeling the pinch at the moment. And while he was in pits, he was able to go on the stream and let us all know that it's not as smooth sailing as he thought it was going to be.
No, I didn't think it would be. Hard yakka.
Hard yakka, exactly. He did it quick on and had the best position to start the race, but made a little mistake. A logical miss the start from memory too, and that gave
he did.
Simo and Matty, that's right. Matty was right on.
Slipped up into second. Yep.
And challenged Cirrus, and maybe that's what put Cirrus into a mistake, because you did mention that Cirrus had gone and Matty was leading the race for a little while. Yep. Was it logical to come back through? I can't remember, but yeah, so much has sort of happened in between all this with some of the car issues with other drivers and all that. But Tim and Jack now out, so we've got a true representative time between him and Dado. Which looks like it's under
just under 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's good to see the Porsche at the moment in fourth. It's one of the cars that I always go to, the 919 hybrid for Le Mans, and hopefully gearing things up for July. I think it's June or July when we run that event.
Le Mans
this year.
Yep.
Le Mans 24 hours.
Looking forward to that one for sure.
Oh, it's definitely one of those ones that we have a great lead up to it, like we did for the Daytona 24 hours. We had a lot of practice and everything like that to get everyone interested in it. So that's in June. We're going to be running that. That's our fourth special event that we'll be running at AusNZ Combined Racing League. You can find all the info over at our website at aus-nzcrl.weebly.com. Head over there. You'll see everything with all our planned series for 2021. We've got our first series, the Janetta GT5 Cup, starting next Sunday. So if you want to come and join in on that, jump over to our website and go to the series section, and you can actually look at the information and the dates that we're running that, and press the button to obviously post your entry. Or if you're on Facebook.
Don't be shy, guys. Sorry, mate. Sorry,
no, you're all right.
In there. Don't be shy, guys. They're a great bunch of blokes, and they'll be really willing to help you along.
Lloydie's wondering why the track's not as wide. I think Lloydie, mate, you always thought the track was wider than what it was because you were always driving with those shiny pearly teeth of yours in the mirror, and sometimes that took away your track awareness of how wide these track can be, or how narrow it might be. Lloydie sometimes made these things look easy. He seemed to have all the time in the world. So Simo's in that chase at the moment, chasing down a logical, just holding roughly that 10 seconds. So they're going to be, just came in too hot at the hairpin, up at turn 6.
He might be in this lap. He's only got 12 litres of fuel left, so that might...
Oh, yeah, you still have quite a bit. They'll want to run this down as low as they can.
Yep.
So that, as you said, they're running roughly 1.5 litres a lap, so he's going to still have another, 7 laps maybe, 6 laps. So 6 or 7
I just
laps.
wonder.
Probably
I
7
just
laps.
wonder if there was any damage on the car. That was all. It doesn't look like there is though. Yeah, that dirty line looks horrible.
Yeah, the GT3 ran right through it, but pulled it up nicely.
Night Havoc running strongly, isn't he? Very
He's
strongly.
definitely out in front. D's extended that lead again to Devil now to out to 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Now look at Dado's time now. He's definitely sorted things out. He's in the 42s now, so he's one of the fastest GT3 cars out there at the moment.
He's rocking and rolling. What did we say was the fuel consumption for these cars per lap?
Oh, I'm not too sure. We'd have to have a little look.
Okay.
So maybe
Might
what we
just go
could
on
do
board now.
next lap, we can actually probably see what's going. As a lot, I think is it not a logical Devil's in the pits.
Devil's in the pits.
So that might be a little bit early. I don't know what his fuel load was. It's definitely going up now. So I think he came in with a bit of fuel. That's all done. So off he goes.
It's only. What did these hold up? About 120 litres that Porsche, roughly.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll have to make sure before the next coverage we go through and make sure we get all what sort of fuel levels that they have.
Yep.
If we go and I don't know where is Dado at the moment.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, coming up into turn
just
2. So we've sort of missed his fuel load. So we may just stay on board. Might as well stay on board. You can probably go on the roof if you want, and you can just stay on board with him, and we'll do another lap, and we'll see how much fuel that the McLaren's using. It could be a telling factor if he's actually got to stop again. He may get through the race with a bit of fuel conserving too.
He's got his times back up. He's consistently in the 142s at the moment, so that's only going to help him. He's a minute and a half behind Tim and Jack, but you never know what's going to happen up ahead.
Yeah, I think it'll be a long stretch for him to try and get to the end, but at the end of the day, we can sort of maybe predict how many laps short he may be, and then we'll know that he won't have to put a short fill in for his next stop.
Good thing is that he's got going again, and everything seems fine at the moment. But
yeah, fingers crossed.
It doesn't change for him. Yeah, fingers crossed, exactly. Fingers, toes, everything.
Well, my prediction for the winner of the GT3 class is already out the window. He retired.
He's gone.
He's out metal drive. So
mine's not all that much better at the moment. But we're already sort of hanging around. So he's in fourth. Here we go. 109.3.
While we're here watching this, we enjoyed the sounds of the McLaren for a lap.
Plagued him earlier is obviously everything's all good, and he looks like he's going for it now. He's got his mojo back and all positive, and he's just going for it. So his lap times are right up there with the best, and we don't know if he's he will have to make a quick splash and dash.
Yeah, we'll just see what this burn is. He's coming into that stadium complex as Commander Sirius is in yet again. In that, in that Toyota, he's not having a good time in that number 5.
That goes so that's 2 litres. It's at 109.3. He's probably going to do roughly 2.5. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe 2.4, we could say, argument's sake, maybe.
You may round up to 2.5 litres and then you can work out a bit easier. But yeah, definitely. 2.5 litres a lap.
Listen to that LMPH coming through.
That was serious, was it? Yep.
Maybe just coming out of the pits. So again, Nürburgring retired early, but you never know what could have happened if he didn't retire. I don't know if he got disconnected. We don't know yet, but look at it. He could have been challenging Cirrus, as Cirrus is believing that maybe he's having a little bit of problems with lobby issues causing these problems, but that can't be helped. You've got to try and drive by like what Dado did. He's worked his way through that.
Simo was closing incredibly quickly on the logical at the moment. He's got it down to 5 seconds now.
Wow.
It was 10 seconds 2 or 3 laps ago. Maybe Logical's had a bit of an off.
So 40 minutes into the motor race and we're back into the challenge for the lead. It's not too far away.
Simo's got 4.5 litres left, so he's probably got maybe, just over 2 laps.
Yeah, 2 laps. Logical's going to be able to run this a little bit longer.
Simo 22.1 last lap.
Yeah,
2 seconds, almost 2 seconds quicker than Logical. It's
absolutely.
that low fuel load and top speed.
Smashed the lap record that we've ever had here, which we only had a record of the former Renault 3.5, which is a 26.9. So he's done a 122.1. So that'll be back up on the leaderboards on our website for our track records.
Matty Steaking just come out of the pits there. Night Havoc running really strong in the 41s. 2 teammates, 1 and 2 in the GT3 class, followed by Devil. Still in the 142s, Devil. Weary Knight just edging it back in 4th position in the 42s as well. And you've got Tim and Dado's in the 141.4, so he's the quickest on the circuit at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And just
with a heavy fuel tank.
Did the fuel numbers then. He's just going to fall short. He's got enough for about 44 laps in this GT3 car, but it looks like they're going to do about another 46 laps roughly, so he's going to be 2 laps short. So he's definitely going to have to come in for a little splash and dash. Simo has now come into the pits in that Audi as he was low on that fuel, so he's come in to fill that up.
Can they get to the end on a full tank?
No, they
won't. They won't?
No, because they started on a full tank and we're not even halfway through yet, so that's definitely going to be stopping again.
So he's only got 50 litres in there. He just wants to keep it reasonably light.
That's the size of the tank is 50 litres, I think, because they're a diesel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So they're using the Fuji version of the Audi. So the Le Mans version of the Audi actually has a bigger fuel tank to work in with the Toyota and the Porsche, I believe. So they're a little bit handicapped where they're going to have to. They've got a little bit smaller fuel tank, so they're going to use a little bit more fuel. Have to stop because they're doing 1.5 litres a lap in the Audis, and the Toyota and the Porsches are doing about 1.6 litres, but they have a bigger fuel tank, so that's why you're seeing a Logical at the moment still out on track, probably still with plenty of fuel to burn. So it's a shame we've got such some lobby issues for the guys. They obviously were very pumped to get into this round 1 of the endurance series, 5 rounds in total. But can't be helped. We actually did try to do an online championship to start off with, and for some reason we just could not even start the lobby. So it's the first time that's happened. So a few bugs creeping in again on Project Cars.
He hasn't put a foot wrong so far. Not Havoc, has he? He's run really strong, consistent. The Weary Knight's up to 3rd. What's happened to
Yeah.
Devil? Damage. That front left guard looks a bit skewiff. No, maybe it's
So
not.
Night
Maybe he just ran off
Havoc
the
did have a little bit of an off before. Remember he had that spin?
Oh, yeah, the spin.
That's probably about the only
Yeah.
time that we caught something, and that got Devil in within 10 seconds striking distance. But it's sort of well, Devil's had to have that pit stop too. He's been in for a pit stop, so when that guy's all pit, he's going to be back in it again, Devil. So don't count him out.
No,
All these
no,
guys.
definitely not.
So Weary Knight's already had a pit, so him and Devil are pretty much for track position.
Amanda Jim just coming into the pits now from 2nd place in the GT3 class.
Yeah, so that'll obviously put him behind, I'd say, Devil X. He'll come out.
He must have some damage. He's got 56 litres of fuel. Is that right?
Yeah, well, you pick that up right, unless they're also thinking strategy. Fill her up.
Yeah.
And then
Have a long stint.
We'll fill it right up now. He's going to be close to be able to get to the end of the race now.
Yeah.
Because as I said before, about 2 laps ago, I said that there was going to be roughly 46 laps in the race, so left for the GT3s maybe.
120 litres, so roughly 2.5 litres a lap. There's the old maths.
Well, oh, mate, how much fuel they burn? I don't know how much fuel they burn, but I reckon they'll have enough fuel.
Yeah, we say 2.5 litres a lap, basically, as a guesstimate. 120 litres.
Yeah,
Anyone in chat, give us a hand.
Yeah, I think, well, let's have a look. I think his Night Havoc, his teammate, hasn't pitted yet. Did he pit? He's got 50 litres, so...
He must have pitted, surely. Maybe he didn't.
Can't remember him coming into the lane.
I can't remember him coming into the lane either.
I don't know if anyone in the chat might be able to let us know if they can remember Night Havoc having a pit earlier in the race, but at the moment...
back in the pits again. Oh no.
Surely you'd think that he wouldn't have been able to only have burned just over half his fuel tank now.
Not in 48 minutes, no.
Yeah, he would have definitely pitted somewhere along the line.
Must have pitted, yeah. Weary Knight's moved into second posse at the moment.
Yeah, and Devil up to 3rd.
Yep, Devil to 3rd. That was Commander Jim's.
Yeah, Commander Jim. Yep, that's it.
Pit stop. Yep.
So here goes Matty rolling again. So they're going to have to pit again. Illogical must be getting very close to pitting now. I don't think he'll be... Oh, he's still got a bit more to burn, so...
Another 3 laps. What do we say? Oh, 1.6 for these cars.
1.6,
so,
yeah.
Minimum of 3 laps.
Yeah. He's getting near the end of this lap, so he could get, as you said, 3 laps. That's going to get him so close to doing this whole race on one stop. If he did some fuel conserving, he'd probably do it on 1 stop, and he'd absolutely blitz them. But yeah, not too sure if that could happen.
Night Havoc. Was that the... Oh, that was his first pit stop, we reckon, or maybe it's his second.
So this will get him to the end for sure, I reckon.
Night Havoc.
Yeah. As is Weary Night. Oh, hang on, Weary Night might come. Yeah, he might have to come in again.
He'll need more juice.
Yeah. He's just coming now into the stadium section, or coming out of it, is he?
He's coming into it, isn't he? He's just coming up to the start.
Coming out. So
Start finish line now.
And Night Havoc is just leaving pit lane. So this is going to bring Devil right into it, because Devil and Weary, they're sort of on the same fuel. And that's, I think that's just in head is where Night Havoc is. Just coming in, was coming into turn 2 earlier. Just behind Dado. Dado did a 41 last lap as well, so he's matching it with Devil. Devil did a 41.016 as well in that Porsche, in the BAM Esports Porsche. So
he's right there now, Devil.
Yep, he means business as well. So, mate, not out of the equation to taking victory in this motor race.
No, absolutely not. It's good to see him. Yeah, it's good to see him right up there. Five minutes, mate, okay?
Yep.
I'll just go with the logical, yeah?
Oh, stay on Devil, I'd say, because that looks like it's... yeah, stay on Devil.
Okay. 5 minutes, I'll be back.
No dramas. We're just going to have a quick little break, guys, with a commentary. We'll keep it on there. I'll be here still, but obviously with the changing of screens, we won't be able to do as my fellow HUD. Oh, as Devil has just hit the barrier, and we unfortunately won't be able to change now into seeing Weary Knight's chase down with Night Havoc. We'll have to see if Devil stays out. I'd say he'll be visiting the pits, filling up that Porsche, which will then give him the run to the flag. So bear with us, guys, while we've got HUDs just having a quick break. While we're doing that, I can go through the calendar of this endurance series. So if you're interested to maybe helping out as a reserve driver, you can also do that. But we've got round 2, which will be the 6 hour of Monza. So that's a 3 hour race that's going to be, times 2 time progression. So that's going to be one of the biggest races we'll have. So that's going to really sort people out. So that's round 2 on the 8th of May. And then the 10th of July, a race that I'm looking forward to bringing to you guys is the California Sunset 5 hour at Long Beach, the street circuit there. So if you think this is busy, wait till these LMPHs and the GT3s get on the sunny streets of California. It's going to be a 2.5 hour race, times 2 time progression. So that's going to be actually coming into the sunset, as the name states. And then when that's on the 10th of July, then on the 18th of September this year, we're going to go over to Silverstone for the 24 hour of Britain. And that's a 2 hour 25 minute times 10 time progression to get the 24 hour progression, as Devil's coming into the pits, and that's on the 18th of September. And then to finish the 5 rounds here of the endurance series, we're going to have the Catalan 6 hours at the Circuit de Barcelona GP on the 13th of November. So that's again a times 2 time progression for a 3 hour race. So again, similar to the 6 hour Monza. So to finish off, it's going to be a challenge. So all drivers obviously driving for the car itself. It's not a drivers' championship, it's a teams and a car championship. So as long as the cars complete 70% race distance after the checkered flag, they will score points. So the points structure for the LMPHs: for first it's 10, second is 6 points, third is 4 points, fourth is 3, fifth is 2 points, and sixth is 1. So with only 6 cars on the grid of the LMPH, they all grab points if they finish the race. And then in the GT3s, we have 10 points for first, 8 for second, 6 for third, 5 for fourth, 4 points for fifth, 3 points for sixth, 2 points for seventh, and 1 point for eighth. So it's obviously very tight in the points, not much gap. So obviously awards having victory, and also they get 1 point for pole position. So both Commander Cirrus and Dado have got 1 point for pole position already. So of each round. As we said, the mandatory pit stops change depending on the length of the race. For the GT3s, the minimum was 2 stops for this round. And then I think all next rounds, actually, for the remaining of the series, it's a minimum of 3 stops. So there you go, that makes it nice and easy. That's about it. All full damage, all our normal settings that we run here at ANZ Combined Racing League. It looks like we're back now with a cameraman. Huds has come back, so you missed actually.
I did, yeah.
He had an incident, but down into this corner here, he's overstepped it and straight into the barrier, which normally happens if you sometimes get on the juice a little bit too early and you're on the outside curb. Pitches you back on the inside. As he's just come out in front of the number 14 Team Virtual Drivers Audi of Commander Jim, who's third, chasing down Weary Knight still. So we might have a look to see, go on to Commander Jim and just have a look to see how far up the road Weary Knight is. Actually 33 seconds, so Weary's
strong.
He is strong, but he's only 3 seconds behind Weary, behind the leader of the motor race too in the GT3 class of Night Havoc. So we might want to just have a look at that that Bentley Continental of Weary. Those timings aren't quite correct. He's just and just nudged the pit entry wall. Will he take it into the pits? No, he'll keep it going. So there you go. So much can happen in endurance racing. Some of these guys were starting to feel a little bit tired. So Clarkey is a wild card for one of those races, he said. I don't know when it was when you made that comment there, Clarkey, but definitely we're happy to have you on board and maybe try and jump in as a reserve driver for one of these guys. I'm sure that they're willing to make a spot available for you.
Look at Dado's last lap, 1:39.8. He's flying.
Surely that was a track cut. Oh, I can't believe that. 1:39.8. He must have found a secret little passageway like they do on Mario Kart or something, you know? I don't know. That's insane. He's going to compete with the big boys shortly.
Yeah.
Keeps that up. Mate, he'll be kicking himself, or we won't be kicking himself, he'll be kicking the car. Just can't believe the issues that he had at the start of the race. Mate, he'd be leading this motor race if he didn't have those issues for sure.
Absolutely.
But in the spirit of endurance racing, he's chasing down Devil, who's, we were only talking about Devil maybe winning the race, and now Dado's got the opportunity to take away 10th from Devil after he had that error.
That car, when they come out of the pits, is that repaired or is that always repaired like that for the rest of the race?
It should have been repaired, but I think that maybe he's got something where he hasn't got the front suspension or something, like something not fixed up. Who knows? Because you'd think that should fix up. So maybe he's just got fuel and tyres and no damage to be fixed up on his settings. So you may have to have a look at that. He Ford foul on the fuel.
He's got problems, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think being a young fella too, he may not know too much. Like he may have to have a run over with all the settings that he needs for the pit strategies, because as we know, he did run out of fuel. The car wasn't filled up at Daytona. So
he's still got dramas.
So if he stays out on track for too much longer like that, I'm sure we'll be seeing Dado with him within the next 20 minutes or so. because there's a good 5-second difference in lap times between the two.
Darrow's been the quickest car on track consistently for the last probably 15-20 minutes, hasn't he? In the GT3 class.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say so. He's obviously was the fastest man out there last lap. Not having wasn't too much further or far away from him, but yeah, absolutely flying. It's Commander Jim in third position at the moment, sort of in the middle of nowhere. But at the end of the day, you're not in the middle of nowhere in endurance racing. Anything can happen. We've seen it. We've seen it with all the cars we've been watching. The only blemish in the logical race, though, who's leading the LMPH, or leading outright anyway, was he missed the start of the race. That's all I can think of, the mistake that he had. So, other than that, he's had a faultless race.
He has. Halfway in now. We'll do it all again.
Yeah, another 60 minutes.
Tough race.
I don't know where I got out of my calculations that the GT3 car would do another 44 laps. That ain't going to happen. But
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so if that's the case, if that's what I'm predicting, maybe we'll have enough fuel, Dado, to get to the end.
He's 40 again, so he's absolutely...
Oh, no, Matty.
Half loose.
At the end of the day, his teammate at the moment is in front of him, so they're doing good for Team Jose. Or Team, what do they call it? Team Yost or something like that, I think they're called.
Yeah.
I believe that Matty was just giving it a go, just seeing what he could do there, and probably realises that his teammate Simo is obviously going to be the man in front of him at come the end of the motor race if nothing else drastic happens. He's just got to try and protect that podium spot from the Porsche of Dark Lord. Doing a tremendous job actually as a reserve driver. Actually, Dark Racing 40 will be stoked to see what Dark Lord is doing here at the moment in that number 2 Porsche team car. Car that Darky's actually had some time in before, in the Imola 4 Hours last year, I think it was.
Dado's still in the 140s.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, you're right. He'd certainly be leading the GT3 class if everything went to plan.
Yeah, I think it won't be long and we'll actually be able to watch him challenge for that 10th position and see him overtake, which will put a smile on his face. And, you know, this just shows to all our viewers that are watching and you know, anyone else that may watch the stream in the future that, you know, in endurance racing, in any sort of sim racing, you just stick to it, you know, like you try not to. Things can go wrong, but just keep going, keep circulating, because not only when you quit when things go really bad, I can understand if hardware failure or it's just impossible for you to continue on, there are those times you have to quit out, as we've seen today. But if you can stick with it, you actually keep the enjoyment of all the other drivers as well, because, you know, the less cars finish the race, you know, this is endurance racing. The LMPH cars love lapping the GT3 cars. You being in the car, having to give way, as you can just see there. Dado had to just check out that corner of the apex because he had to let the fast LMPH car go through. It's all racecraft, it's all enjoyment, and it betters you as a driver as well as you progress.
Devil's coming into the pits.
Yeah, maybe just to make sure he gets that damage repair now. We'll just see. Yeah, there you go. Or maybe it's just a glitch on the screen. It looks like it was going to do it and then didn't do it, so... off he goes.
With this drama, you forget who's leading the race and how well he's done so far. Logical Sports, he's been fantastic so far.
Look how small they are compared to that Bentley Continental. Oh, there's a little mistake. We caught that illogical. Yeah. We'll replay that for you at the 56-minute mark. A little bit early on the power. Yes, if anyone knows about looking at the stream and some of those comments by Colonel Lloyd about the magical tyres of the McLaren, you only have to look at Colonel Lloyd's performance at the last year's Spa 2.24 hour race that we did. Absolutely blitzed in this McLaren, and just found his pace out of the tyres somewhere, and maybe a little secret in the little setup, I don't know, but obviously Lloydie wasn't too forthcoming in letting people know how he found that extra speed. It's out the back. We just seen Matty Seeking or one of the cars run really wide. I don't know if it was Matt. Oh, there he goes. He's just tagged the back of Devil. That was a little bit. I've lost for words actually. I don't think that he could have got through there, Matty, because you had two GT3 cars coming through that corner. Trying to position his car, and he's just absolutely belted Devil. Unfortunately, that's not going to be good for both cars. He'll probably be regretting trying to make that move. As I said, Matty Seeker's not really there in the race at the moment. I think he's on the same fuel strategy as his teammates, so trying to push extra hard. Probably not the best thing to do at this part of the race. He's trying to protect that that last final podium spot from the Porsche of Dark Lord.
Bit of fatigue, I think. Fatigue, you know, it's just from experience last week at Daytona. It takes control of you, and you just make decisions that you wouldn't, you know, necessarily make if you're up and about, sort of thing.
True, yeah. Look at these two P51 Sim Sports Bentley Continentals following one another. We might want to get on board of Weary Night and look at these two. They look great. Both bonnets are lifted up a little bit, but
yeah, wait for the bonnet to fly off the back.
Yeah.
And is that Matty Seeking or is that Simo?
No, that's Matty still, number 7. So he's trying to get through these guys, and Weary's not making it easy for him. Now he's seen him and let him go through as he started through. Oh, there goes Tim and Jack. That's Tim and Jack, the teammate. He's clobbered the wall. I think he side cleans that tyre barrier. So again, there's Dado. Dado is now in 10th position. We missed
139.4.
Yeah, he settled down, old man.
God, settled down, old man.
Age does not... And my controller cut out. I forgot to keep pressing the button. So sorry, but yeah, so Dado absolutely smashing it. Next man, Tim and Jack. So Tim and Jack looks like he's going to make another pit stop, maybe for this damage, which is going to bring Dado right into it. He got going. He didn't lose too much time though. He's not that far still off Weary Night. He's still in that screenshot. But he was actually in front of him at the time when he speared off, I think it was. Can't miss that 87, can you, on that window? Front windscreen. So Simo's doing those 24s, so he's trying to make his move now if he can, start closing up that gap on Illogical. They're both going to have to pit again to get to the end of the race, but Simo's going to have to sit in pit lane a little bit longer than Illogical, as this Audi, the fuel tank is a lot smaller than the Toyota. Well, when saying that, it's less. The tanks are not as big, so it won't need to stay as long in pit lane. But it's a matter of how much fuel he needs to get to the end. So Logical won't need that much extra fuel to get to the end. I think he's going to fall probably around about... Oh, here he is. He's got to come in and pit very shortly.
Oh, he's got quite a few. What do we say, 1.6? So he's got No, 8, 9 laps. 8 laps. 7, 8 laps.
1.6 litres a lap. So no more than 6 laps, I'd say. Probably, oh, it'll be less than 6 laps, won't it? Oh, about 6 laps, yeah, 6 laps. 6 to 7.
But Simo's, yeah, he's certainly catching him at the moment. He's a second quicker on the last lap.
So Logical has pitted, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
He's just starting to push again.
Very nice corner, this hairpin. It's beautiful when you get the turn in right, and you can get that power on nice and early. Or you can't get on too early. You've got to get through that apex and then get it on. But yeah, you can get. It really feels good when you get that corner right.
Simo's flying at the moment. He's 2.5 seconds quicker than the Logical on the last lap.
Yeah, it's interesting that they got similar fuel loads too. So obviously
They
it's going to be
have,
a run to the flag, these two. So they're very close. So it's going to be interesting once they come into the fuel window to get to the end. So I tell you what, Weary Knight's not letting go of Night Havoc either. So the lead of both, both of the two classes is going to heat up near the end of the race, like it seems to do all the time.
Dado 140.7. He's
yeah, smashing it. He will be on the back of Weary's teammates shortly, the Tim and Jack.
Yep.
In the second of the Bentleys.
Any chance for a podium, you think? I guess he has.
For Dado?
Almost. Yeah.
Oh, mate, you'd have to try and get
close.
Commander Jim as well. Yeah, we'll be close,
He's
but I think he'll have to fall his own way to get there. But as again, I think he's going to have that splash and dash because he's just going to fall short on fuel.
Not Havoc's got a 10-second penalty.
Oh, that's very interesting for Weary Night. I'm sure that the P51 Sports team are really excited of seeing that figure.
They'll be licking their chops as well. It's only 14 seconds on track at the moment. He's got 10 seconds.
Oh, that is very, very interesting indeed. So all Weary Night really needs to do now is actually be a good boy for the rest of the race. Let that fatigue not hamper him and make any silly mistakes which might give him a time penalty. Because he can actually, as we know, win this motor race without even overtaking Night Havoc. But they are racers. They don't like to win the race that way. He will want to actually physically overtake Havoc for the victory. There's no way that Weary Night will just be settled to take victory with that penalty helping him.
Cirrus back in the pits.
Yeah, it's been a tough day in the office for Cirrus. But learn from this as well for the next round at Monza in a couple of months' time.
Dado 139.5.
Some of these guys too are going to also get a good feel for when we come into Le Mans, I reckon too.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised a lot of these guys will be stepping up into the LMP H class and not going the GTE route this year. So I reckon we'll be maxed out on the LMP H class, which will be a good thing this year. We haven't been able to max out the LMP H class for the Le Mans 24 Hours. We do it as a team event, so you need to team up with another driver. So we do 4 sessions for the Le Mans race, time sessions to simulate 24 hours. And during those sessions, when we have the breaks, you can have those driver changes. So really
Devil's
brings the
still
team
circulating with
aspect
that.
to it.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, you're right.
Devil's still circulating there with that damage on the front. It doesn't look quite as bad as it was, but
I think Cirrus's missus might be questioning his big, strong forearms after tonight as well. Maybe looking at him sideways, thinking, "What's going on, Cirrus? Thought you were sim racing." Hey, Popeye, we're going to call him. He's saying that the old heavy steering wheel shake is hampering him. But anyway, we'll take your word for it, Cirrus.
yeah, that old chestnut, yeah.
Oh, as his teammate, that's a logical out on the grass. Another little mistake from a logical that's creeping in. He knows Simo's getting him.
He is catching, yeah, for sure.
Simo, as I said, he had a 2-second penalty, so that's going to work in Illogical's favour a little bit. But I tell you what, 45 minutes remaining of this race, which is majority. A lot of races normally happen with sim groups maybe around about 45 minutes. They've still got that to go again, so they've been running for an hour 15 already. As Simo's teammate Highlander, they've been a formidable force, those two, that combo. He's getting very itchy feet, he's saying, for the Le Mans 24 hours.
Just pegging it back, isn't he, Simo? He's just chucking in the lap times. It's getting quicker and quicker. Logical close to a pit stop now. Only 6.5 litres left. This will be his last pit stop. Whoop. There'll be a dash to the flag after that.
It's been a fairly entertaining race. There's been quite a lot going on, a lot of stuff to talk about with people having some hardware issues and lobby issues and fighting on to try and get the most out of a good result. And obviously the standout at the moment has obviously been Dado.
39. He's only 13 seconds behind Tim and Jack.
I think at one stage, what was he? He was just under 3 seconds, it was about 2 minutes and 50 seconds it was, just under 3 minutes I should say, behind the next place when he was at last. So he's now got himself within 18 seconds of 9th. So he's done a tremendous effort coming back. And in the chat we've also got the reigning
Devils.
NASCAR, the Daytona 500 winner, Colonel Lloyd, looking forward to maybe coming and showing his face again for our Route 66, which is third race distance of the Daytona 500. 66 laps around there, and that's next month. Actually, I think it's next month or even this month. Next month, yeah.
13th.
I'm just bringing that up as we speak right now. It's actually the 13th of March. You're correct. We get our little oval racing out of the way. We've got the Route 66 to Daytona 500, which is always a fun event. So if you've never done NASCAR in the game, or you don't think going around circles is fun, I tell you what, everyone that's done it has thoroughly enjoyed it. We have safety car periods, yellow flag periods for the cars and everything like that, keeps the racing good. And then we have our special event, the number 3, May 15th of May, the Indycar, the Indianapolis 500. So that's the full 200 laps, that one. And that's our part 1 of our Triple Crown that we run. And there's only been one.
Timo in the pits.
Here he comes in. Just quickly with the Triple Crown, we've only had one driver take the Triple Crown, which was in 2019, which was Shads, and that's by winning the Indy 500, the Le Mans 24 Hours, and also the Bathurst 1000. So obviously the Le Mans 24 Hours, it must be in the main class, which is the LMPH.
Devils dropped out. 10 runners left.
10 runners, so Devils dropped with only 40 minutes remaining, so unfortunately that looks like he's going to miss out on that point scoring finish as well. A 70% race distance, not quite there.
There's a logical he to be in on this lap as well, I would have thought. No.
Geez, maybe we'll have to find out, but it's so close. He had to be still running with 36 minutes remaining, Devil, so he's just short of completing that.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So he may get points because he's very close to that, so they may just give him points, but that'll be up to the series organisers. As Simo now, out he goes. Got the fuel to the end now, and a logical
this will be his last lap. Yeah.
So we might stay on the logical just to see where he comes out.
Yep.
Because this could be a very big telling factor. They're running roughly the same amount of fuel. The Toyota uses just a little bit more fuel than the Audi, so he's going to have to put that little bit more in to get to the end. So that's going to give Simo that little bit gap, like close that gap a little bit maybe. He'd be happy with this at the moment, a logical. Absolutely flying. He really found his mojo during the V8 supercars. Came in second in that championship. He was actually my teammate.
Yep.
And we worked really together, really well. And we got him second at the final race over Highlander with a little bit of teamwork, holding Highlander off so he couldn't get to a logical.
Racecraft.
Yeah, that's it. But again, that series there, that came to that point where, you know, the big telling point was Highlander's disconnected Bathurst 1002, which really cost him the championship at the time. As soon as that happened, he knew the championship was gone.
He's Simo. 8 seconds. He's going to take the lead.
He's got a little bit to go though, hasn't he? Simo, where's Simo?
Lost.
Where's he going?
Oh.
He's
No,
only,
he hasn't. I'm
no,
sorry.
he's still got...
He's miles off.
Simo must have had some issue when he came out.
Yeah. Yeah, that car impressed.
Or is he 19 seconds? Has he made up some gap? No, 54. So he was a lot closer, wasn't he, at one stage?
He was, I thought he was about 20 seconds.
Oh, Stado's just put on that power. This is for the 5th position with Tim and Jack.
Tim and Jack is hanging tough there.
Look, Commander Jim's in the pits too, so they could... Oh, he's just come out, Commander Jim. Oh, look at that graphic. And we might just go back to... oh, look at these two LMPHs coming through. I don't think it'll take Dado too long to try and make a move here on Tim and Jack. He's very wide coming out of...
Here he comes.
That stadium complex, turn 12, I think it was. Turn 11. LMPH car behind him has to just know that this is a battle for a position too, so he might just have to bide his time. May want to go on track view, Huds. Just as Dado has a look down the inside. Oh, Tim and Jack. Oh, he was on the brakes a little bit earlier than Dado, and he's made that move count.
Made it stick.
Made it stick really well. So his chase now goes for Commander Jim, 41 seconds up the road. So it's going to be pretty hard. Commander Jim just came out of the pit, so I think he's got the fuel to get to the end. I still think Dado's got 44. I still think he's going to fall a little bit short.
He will. Yeah, what do you say? Roughly 2.5 litres a lap.
So we'll say he's got 43 litres now. This gives him about 17 more laps in this race of going around at that with that fuel load before it runs out. So depending how many more laps they're going to do.
Logical Sports last lap was a minute and 55. That must have been his out lap. So he's got 26 litres.
Yeah, that'll get him to the end. So Simo's put a lot more fuel in. So Simo's filled his tank up. So obviously he hasn't selected the right strategy.
Yeah.
So that's why he's lost so much time. So there you go. That's a little mistake that's probably cost Simo the race.
He must have had an off ski. That's like almost a minute down now.
Yeah, but it's a lot more. Yeah, but it's a lot more fuel that he's put on. He maybe put tyres on too. Don't know. What have we got remaining here? About 34. I'm just trying to figure out how many laps these guys are going to do in the GT3 still. What sort of lap times they're doing? 140. I say 142. So.
Yeah. So Dado is only. We just had another dropout. Who did we lose?
Another GT3. It might have been not Tim and Jack. We got Night Havoc. Actually, no, it was one of the LMPHs, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Oh, was it?
There's only 4. We had 6 originally, so it was one of the LMPHs. Dark Lord's still there, Matty. It was Commander Cirrus. Simo's dropped. The man who we're talking about that had a problem. It's no good. And maybe
14 down to 9.
Down to 9. So Simo out on lap 60.
Dado's still 139.3.
So I'm predicting that the GT3s are going to do roughly another. I don't know how it can be, about another 20 laps, but I don't think that's going to happen. Because they're on lap 60 now. That doesn't add up. So Dado
now
should have
10 seconds off a podium at the moment. He will have enough, you think?
It's going to be close. I keep saying he's going to be about 2 laps short, but yeah, my maths is probably not working so well at the moment. The Commander Cirrus now is obviously in 4th with that dropout from Simo on lap 60.
Maybe we should do a bit of a poll on the chat there, driver of the day. Maybe not just yet, maybe in another 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, why not?
Both classes.
Yeah.
The GT3 driver of the day for me is.
Yeah, well, if people aren't going to continue on and watch it's Commander Cirrus goes for the big slide into turn 1. I have to say Commander Cirrus, the driver of the day, safe in that. That might be the save of the day. But, oh, look, unfortunately, Simo Racing power gone.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That's a big shame, having a power blackout or something. No way. So anyway, mate, heartbreak of endurance racing, as I say, even in sim racing, in real life they have the car issues. Call it that his battery pack died in his Audi there, his power generator.
Yeah, that was pity, but like you say, it happens. So.
Yeah, so if anyone's going to be leaving before the end of the motor race, which you probably don't want to do, I think there's still a little bit more to come with half an hour, just over half an hour remaining. I'm sure it's going to still lighten up, even with the 9 drivers still circulating. There's still a few little battles to be interested to see what's going to happen. One Dado, will he get a podium? Will Night Havoc still hold on for the victory over Weary Night, who's been showing some pace, but just roughly 20 seconds or so behind?
Dado's definitely going to have to pit again.
But just Commander Jim? No, he won't.
They got a 60 litres.
Yeah, such a dejected wave is never any good to the crowd when you know that you had a chance of winning a motor race as well. But one thing that obviously hampered Simo was that last pit stop too. I think they put too much fuel in that car. And the logical was hit the mark with just the right amount of fuel, I reckon, to get to the end of the race. As Tim and Jack coming, was that them coming into the pits?
Yep.
Oh, something's gone wrong there for the P51 guys again.
I don't think, has he got enough fuel, 40 litres? He would have, wouldn't
Yeah, you should have enough, you'd think, to get to the end with that, but obviously some damage, something's happened. So yeah, any guys that want to put their, anyone that wants to actually try and put their voting for the driver of the day, go for it. We would like to know from the LMPH class and also the GT3s.
Yeah.
So you might want to just go through the driver list from the logical down to Commander Series in the LMPH, so people can sort of get a gauge of the actual cars. So Logical Sports pretty much kept it on the black stuff most of the race. We did see a few little run-off tracks, but commanding...
He's been super consistent, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just been dominating this race.
Yeah.
And then in second we got Matty Seeking, who challenged Commander Series at the start of the race, had a blinder of a start. And from third to second, I think it was.
I reckon this is a great effort from Matty. Really great effort to be there.
Yeah, limited limited time in the car too, when he was actually putting all his efforts in the GT3 early in the week. So then we got Dark Lord, mate.
Dark Lord's he's just going about his stuff, isn't he? The whole race.
Yeah, and I know he's done nothing spectacular, but I tell you what, as a fill-in driver for Dark Racing 40, to me, I'd give him. Well, I'd give him, because I'm a little sucker for Porsche. And to see that car on the podium, mate, I'm rapt about that. So I'd give my driver of the day to Dark Lord, only because, you know, I'm a bit biased towards the Porsche. But anyway, now Commander Cirrus. Yeah, you got me in one there, Huds. Commander Cirrus, I think you can put him down as he's obviously been very fast for pole, but obviously then having to struggle with a car with heavy steering throughout the race. You can see he's just with a forced feedback. The car doesn't seem to even want to go straight. He's wrestling it in a straight line. So he's got the problem that Dado's had in the start. Yeah. As we look now at Night Havoc, who's just in the pits probably for the final time. He's got some time there over Weary Night. So he's probably just taking the opportunity for that pit to make sure he's got enough fuel to the end. So the leader of the GT3 class, we saw him have probably one spin, and that's about it. He's been doing terrific out in front. Weary Night. Excellent job.
He's pitted
job there in second in that big Bentley Continental. He's just getting a little bit caught up here with his LMPH car, which they just got to make sure that they can pass cleanly. Just hold, and he should be able to dive down the inside here now. Next at the podium, just holding on the podium, is Commander Jim. And he's got Dado 34 seconds behind. And as we know, Dado has had to make a number of pit stops. I think we counted, about 5 pit stops?
Oh, it must have been at least 4 or 5, yeah.
And it was all because he's had the massive wheel shake on his Fanatec wheel, where he just could not keep the car straight in a line. So he kept going into the pits just to see if it would reset itself, which obviously it has, because we've seen him now in the 39s again, late in the race. Absolutely flying in this K-Pax McLaren, number 6. So he'd be a strong contender for driver of the day as well in the GT3 class. And then Tim and Jack. Rounding out the field.
He's had a solid performance, Jim. Solid, you know. He only just drafted in on Thursday night, I think. Thursday during the day.
Yeah, exactly. He's filling in for racing.
Didn't have a lot of time, wheel time, so you know.
And then obviously we had Simo Racing. Unfortunately, had that power failure that's cut him out early, and Nürburger in the other Porsche. Oh, there's Matty just crabbing. That's definitely crabbing, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not for fuel, is it?
No, so he's in here now with Dark Lord in the Porsche. Come on, let's go. He's there.
30 seconds.
Yeah, he's there for fuel and also maybe some damage repair. So if he's going to stick here for a bit, that's damage getting fixed up here right now. So Dark Lord, what can he do? Can the Porsche find itself in second place? It's got a little bit to try and make up on track. Those timings are obviously all over the shop while he's in the pit. Yeah, we'll have to wait till he comes out. And then in the... so here he comes now into the stadium section, Doug. So this is going to be on. With 24 minutes remaining, we have got a run to the flag for second position. Dark Lord's going to find himself maybe needing to pit though for a little bit of a splash and dash. It's getting low.
Yeah.
But at the moment,
he's going to go into second spot.
Matty's just coming out of the pits now. He's just up the road. We should see him in shot, mate. Oh, he's just into turn 2.
No, is he?
So if only the fuel gods could have helped Dark Lord, but I think we've sort of seen that with that fuel load, that Dark Lord is going to be a little bit short on fuel getting to the end. But he can show a little bit of cheek to Matty, and if Matty makes another mistake and has to have another pit stop, you never know.
Dado was second behind Commander Jim. How much? He's got 25 litres left. 26. Right, end.
Alright, Simo's leaving. He's using his data on his phone and everything to try and keep in what he was in the race, and obviously watching the stream. So obviously he'll catch up on the results in our group, with the results on our web page as well later on. So good
unlucky.
race, Simo. Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky, mate. Very unlucky.
And but definitely we also had, remember Devil X as well. He had a good run as well, but he made a few little errors, and we'd like to know what ended up happening with him as well in that 91 BAM Esport Porsche, because he was also challenging Night Havoc for the lead. He was within 10 seconds for quite a while. As Dark Lord only just 6 seconds behind, second place. He would have been almost on the thing I was thinking, oh, will I fuel conserve? But now that he's got that chance of trying to get second, even if it's only for a little while, if he puts that pressure on Matty, you never know. Matty's already made that mistake, so it could happen again.
Matty will be getting tired. He'll be definitely getting tired. Cool.
Yeah, as he's running a little bit wide. He's done that all race, and maybe that's more of his preferred line as well. Come in a little bit hot, get the car going, and get the power out of it. So there's a couple of different lines through that hairpin up there at turn 6. Very important though, to get good power out of turn 6 into turn 7 and into that Mercedes little complex into turn 8 and 9 and 10. Which he's just gone through, and then you come now up into turn 12, the Sasha's hairpin, or like the curved little pit into E. Very fun part of the track. Very easy to get a time penalty through if you run too wide. Be careful. I tell you what, Dado's going to be like a wring and wet towel after this race. He's been pushing hard.
It's the logical sports. He's only got 11 litres left. That won't get him to the finish.
No,
but he's got a massive gap.
Simo even said, I did notice in the chat, he was saying something about that he would be roughly 2 laps short or something with the fuel that he even had, when we thought he was 2 litres short to get to the finish. So
Yeah.
Maybe Illogical selected the wrong strategy too, so that could have been a telling factor of Simo actually winning the race as well, because maybe Illogical did it for more track position to make sure he got out in front of Simo. And which he did. He was about 50 seconds in front, but that maybe explain why it was such a short pit stop for Illogical as well, because as you've been saying, he's not going to make it to the end at all.
No.
They're using 1.6 litres a lap. He's going to be in the next three laps or so.
Dato's still in the 140 points. Well, he's certainly my GT3 driver of the day, and at this stage, LMP8's driver of the day is Illogical Sports. I think he's been rock solid.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely how to put it for Illogical. He's definitely showed up his teammate, and that's one thing that they always like to do. Is the first thing you got to do is beat your teammate, and he's done that well. Commander Cirrus currently running 4th. Dado Racer still trying to chase down Commander Jim. He's bridging that gap, but at the same time he's burning a lot of fuel too. So
yeah, he's got to stop again, surely.
He's only got roughly what 10. What fuel numbers were we talking about? They were using 2.5. So yeah,
2.5 roughly. Yeah.
So he's got probably about another 7 laps before he's got to come in.
Yeah. He's got a good time. He's certainly going to finish 4th in class at the moment. But yeah, he won't be happy with that. Just all those issues in the first 35, 40 minutes that he encountered that it's really ruined his whole race, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there's probably going to be roughly another 13 to 12 laps of this race remaining. And it should be looking around about 82 laps. That'll just come up here as disconnecting when you put up that map too, so that's fine.
Okay.
So Night Havoc again, still with 10 seconds, so we've got to still keep an eye on that with Weary Night. So Weary Night's has dropped back a little bit.
It's about 20 seconds in reality, isn't it? If they've both got enough fuel to the end, roughly.
Yeah.
About 10 seconds. Yeah. He's another one. Night Havoc has been absolutely rock solid as well. Just keeps hitting his markers from early on.
Definitely.
Really impressive.
I forget where he qualified actually on the grid. It was up there. Was he on the one of the ones on the second row? I think he might have been.
I think so, yeah.
Him and Commander Jim or something. Yeah, I'd have to say Night Havoc for me in these GT3s. The driver of the day. I know Dado's done a lot from the back, but as you said, you just sort of said his Night Havoc's been just motored around, just kept his nose clean, and he's thrown away all his challenges that try to come at him, and he never put a foot wrong.
Weary Night has just done a 40.9. It's excuse me, second quicker than Night Havoc. Dado's just dropped back a bit. He might have had a bit of a problem with 44.4. And
could have had some, obviously the LMP haters coming through at him. He may be switching. He may also be switching at his strategy as well, because he doesn't want to come in for a full fuel load, because he's still got Tim and Jack behind him, and he doesn't want to try and open up an opportunity for him to try and take that 8th spot. That's for sure. Or I should say 4th spot.
4th spot. On Tim and Jack, so I can't see that happening. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick break, mate. I'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes, alright?
No worries, run to the flag.
Do you want me to go with the leader, or...?
Let's have a look who we should go for at the moment. Is there anyone having a close battle at the moment?
Night Havoc and Weary are about 25
How
seconds
about
apart.
just leaving on Dark Lord on the Porsche for me, eh? In the third spot.
Yeah,
There we
that'll
go.
keep you happy.
That'll keep me happy and entertained.
Put the hands behind the head
And enjoy this.
I'll
Is
see you in a
16. Yeah, no worries, Huds. So 17 seconds behind Matty Seeking. We did see Matty slip up, so I think Matty might have learnt from that mistake, and he'll be trying to keep that car nice and settled. Not too sure if he'd be aware that Dark Lord still needs to pit for fuel. But once he sees Dark Lord in the pits, I'm sure that's going to be a sigh of release for Matty Seeking there in second. Running very solid in the number 7 Audi Sport Team Yost Audi R18. So it's been a good day actually for the Audi team. At the start of the thing with Simo that was running really well, but at the moment we've got only these Toyotas with the 2 cars still running. But if Simo could have actually been, as we said, with that fuel load that he had, he could have been actually even toppling Illogical for the win in the end. So you could have actually have had the Audi take out victory, and with Matty Seeking here in second, would have obviously dropped to third. He actually gained that second position from Simo's unfortunate power blackout. But it's been good to see the Porsches charge. Dark Lord would have learned a lot throughout the 2 hours, well 1 hour 45 minutes that he's been running. Here he comes, he's pulled the trigger now. Probably could have run maybe 1 extra lap, 1 or 2 extra laps, try to put that pressure on Matty. Now Matty has been released, that pressure. We know that they still had the fuel, the Porsche, but maybe the Porsche is a little bit unsettled around this track on low fuel, so he's taking the opportunity to take that stop. Should only need roughly 10 litres at the most in there, I'd say, to get to the end. Probably a little bit more, probably around about 14 litres is all he maybe needed to get to the end, but that's okay, it's still good. As he just comes out in front of the Commander Cirrus. So now this is actually for position, is it? It can't be for position at the moment. It is. So Commander Cirrus has now just taken third of the motor race. What a comeback from Commander Cirrus. As Dark Lord tries to get that power down and regain that third position. We have got a challenge here for third spot. We didn't even see this coming. We were blindsided. We're looking for the second spot. But Commander Cirrus is right on the back of Dark Lord's tail for the third spot, the final position on the podium. We know the Toyota team will be throwing everything at it to try and get the final spot on the podium, as Dark Lord in the Porsche has run extremely right, as Dado's on the on the grass and the infield, as Cirrus has gone around the outside on the high side using the AstroTurf for some grip, but that was losing him plenty of wheel spin. There's a Logical Sports that's coming for the pits, but we might want to keep on this battle if we can, please, Huds, with Dark Lord and Cirrus. This is position for third. Very intense at the moment. So Commander Cirrus is trying to wrestle a car that's not 100% with his hardware, and it looks like Dark Lord has now been able to just bridge that little bit of a gap. But geez, that was intense last few minutes for Dark Lord. He wants to try and clear this Bentley very nice and early. With Tim and Jack, he's just erred on the side of caution. And as he comes up to Night Havoc, the lead, oh no, it's not Night Havoc, that's actually Commander Jim. Oh, as Commander Cirrus had to run right wide to not avoid collecting Commander Jim. So what did we say, Huds, earlier, mate? We said that it seems to always be endurance racing, you know, with 15 minutes, 20 minutes remaining, there's always something that gets thrown up, and we've got this big battle for third.
Every time I leave, something happens.
So I believe that the penalties, actually, yeah, we might have a look at the penalties while we're looking, because Dark Lord I didn't know had penalty, but I know Cirrus had about what did he have, a 2 second? And Dark Lord has a 2, so it means nothing to them at the moment. They're on the same amount of penalties. As there's Night Havoc there, doing a good job staying out of this battle. Looks like Commander Cirrus, he actually had third for about 3 or 4, probably 2 or 3 corners until Dark Lord came back at him. As you can just see in there, you can just, it's all the battle of these 2 cars. Almost going to be 2 laps down. They could be 2 laps down by the end of the motor race, who knows. Cirrus is, you know, if you want to dangle something in front of Cirrus, there's the Porsche, and he's just run wide.
He's got
no! Hold it together, son. Get that composure back, Dark Lord. You can do it, mate. You've got Dark Racing 40 cheering for you. You've got all the Porsche crew cheering for you. If you run wide, that's going to be a penalty. That's going to be a penalty, Huds. May as well not try and slow that down. You just got to go for it. Go for the flag. Try and bridge that gap. It's definitely going to be a penalty, though. He was very wide. You just got to forget that Cirrus is there. Actually got away with that penalty, unless it's going to hit up very shortly, but he's still only got 2 seconds. So maybe when he ran wide, he was off throttle, which you can actually avoid penalty if you are off throttle and you're not still on it. This is where Cirrus is very strong, up here at turn 6. I think if we're going to see a pass for third position, that's where it's going to be.
Oh! Had a look.
It's also where they deploy their curves as well. Oh, there you go.
Oh, he's gone off again.
That's the second. That will actually probably the third lap in a row that Dark Lord has gone wide there, so he's been pushing too hard.
Oh, he's gone off again.
I said that earlier too. It's a corner that you just don't want to be catching that outside curve. You don't want to run too wide. It's a very tricky corner, turn 11.
That's the fatigue factor. 7 minutes down, you know, to remaining of a 2-hour race. He hasn't got any damage, has he?
No damage. He's just obviously just been pushing really hard. He's probably on old tyres too. I don't think he didn't change tyres, so it depends when he last changed them as well. So he could have no tyres under him either. But I'd say a lot of these guys would probably be the same, especially, I don't know how Cirrus has been going, because he's had a couple of unscheduled stops, so he's done a tremendous job to actually be in this hunt.
He has, yeah.
As you can sort of see now,
great effort.
Dado's now...
Great effort. Oh!
Yeah, I think that would have been a little bit of lag as Dado went into the pits. So I did see judder on our screen, which can happen when drivers come into the pits. So Dado's coming in just to get that last bit of fuel, as we predicted way back, when there was still an hour 14 remaining, I think, when he had his last pit stop, when he finally came out and was doing those 41s and 1 minute 40 laps.
39s as well.
39s, yeah, when his wheel finally came to play. And look at this, it's still on. It's not over at all, and they've still got their 2-second penalties, both of them.
The Porsche fanboys are up out of their seat.
Oh, mate, yeah, we're starting to wave our What do you want to call them? I don't know what Porsche fans. Oh, someone's hit the wall.
Oh!
Cirrus is in the wall.
Oh!
There's the end of Cirrus's challenge for third. Look at that. A beaten up Toyota. The Japanese ain't gonna be happy with that. You know, you got to go well with a German with a Porsche around here. So it's only fitting that the Porsche ends up getting that final podium spot. But we don't want to start talking about that too early, as we've seen Dark Lord over a number of laps running wide into turn 11, and that's where it can go all nasty as well. So he's just got to now just take it nice and steady. It's there to be the race is there for him for the final podium.
Yeah. 30 seconds down the road, there's no...
Looks like Dado's going to obviously fallen short of trying to get that unlikely podium in the GT3.
He's close.
Yeah, time's going to better him, but geez, he's fought hard, valiantly with this race. All those issues early on. Cannot believe how he's been able to hold into this race so long and just miss out on a podium by the looks of things.
Typical serial.
Yes, seriously, he's had such a hard race with hardware obviously being very hard steering, heavy steering on him, and it's probably just gotten the better of him. But he also did have that pressure by Dark Lord. Obviously you'd be happy with that Dark Racing at the moment, Dark Lord's performance in your car.
Yep, he's doing alright. Quite happy with that, so race has come down to a good end by the look of it.
Yeah, there's been quite a little bit that went on there with that, especially that LMPH class. That was very exciting when Dark Lord came out right in front of Cirrus. And at that time, we were thinking that Dark Lord may be able to challenge Matty for second because Matty had slipped up a little bit earlier. But yeah, so once Dark Lord had to pit, that obviously took the pressure off Matty.
That's it.
But the GT3s, we've seen a sensational drive by Night Havoc in the number 12 team virtual drivers Audi R8 LMS. It'd be good for all the Audi fanboys out there. Loving seeing this car out in front. So only 3 minutes remaining. What has been a very up and down sort of race for a lot of the drivers. A topsy-turvy sort of race. He's not giving up, old Dado. He's still doing that 139.9.
Only 3 seconds.
He'll probably take away the fastest lap of the race too, Dado, I reckon. He'll put himself up on the track records as the fastest lap for a GT3 car here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League. And there goes the leader of the motor race, I'd say. No, that was actually Commander Cirrus. Is it logical now? 2 minutes remaining. You'll have this lap and then the next, and that'll be it. Come around and take the white flag for the final lap of the Hockenheim 10 hour.
Great performance by Logical Sports, really consistent throughout the whole race, really.
Yeah, he's been beautiful running by Logical, and I tell you what, this is going to finish at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so what better time to celebrate 5 o'clock It's 5 o'clock somewhere for a nice drink
Yeah.
at the end of the race. Good old Jimmy Buffett. If only I had the song, we could play it right now in the comms box, but I don't have it with me. But I'm sure a lot of you guys know that song, so I'm sure it's humming around in the back of your head.
So how did we go on the chat with the drivers on the day? Were there a lot of responses, or?
I'll go through. So we've got a logical for quite a few people for the LMPHs. A couple of Night Havocs and a couple of Dados. And that's really about it. So it looks like...
Dado.
Obviously Night Havoc.
Dado's still in the 139s. Night Havoc, yeah, you can't.
For the final time through the stadium
There he
section.
is.
Logical Sports, everyone up on their feet to congratulate this great drive. They're going to come through as a 1-2 for the Toyota Gazoo Racing team, with the Bentley in front of them. Oh, might want to just keep with the leaders as they go over. There we go. Congratulations
Well
to
done,
Logical. Good
Well
victory.
done.
And Commander Cirrus as well, credit to him as well. He had some issues. And we might look at Night Havoc, watch him come through to take victory as well. He's up at the top of turn 6 of the hairpin. As you got the... that's not for position, is it? With the Porsche and the Audi at all? With Matty Seeking?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, the leader of the motor of the GT3 classes spun it. Yeah, that was just obviously Dark Lord getting lapped by Matty. So what a way to finish the final lap. Oh, look, here we go. They can have formation for the teams as well. We have the team formation for Toyota. Will we have the team formation for the 12 and 14 team virtual drivers, Audis? Commander Jim sort of just out in front. You might think that he might want to just let off the throttle a bit and let Night Havoc come through next to him, but I think Commander Jim wants to get through with that extra lap. Because we're just waiting for Night Havoc probably to finalise this race. Here he comes, takes victory of the GT3 class. Congratulations.
Well done.
Beautiful racing by all involved.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Matty Seekin second. Brilliant effort. He'll be happy with that.
And if anyone can guess in the chat whatever flag that he's decided to be in country, he does it every race. He changes his nationality. Always a talking point. But how,
that's not Sri Lanka, is it? Not Sri Lanka, no.
Not too sure. But look at that. Illogical Sports a lap in front of everyone. So
yep, brilliant.
Unbelievable. Almost 2 laps as well when you think about it. Lap times of what, 1 minute 23s and Matty Seekin was 1 minute 13, but off him a lap down. So tremendous effort. And Dark Lord taking the final podium position in the number 2 Porsche yep. team, with Commander Cirrus taking out the final of the LMPH class. The GT3s, they had a rip of a race all race long, with Night Havoc having to put away a lot of contenders that try to take the victory from him early on in the race as they fell by the wayside. Weary Knight coming home in second, and then Commander Jim in the second of the Audis for third. So that's a good result for the Audi team as well. So they won. They came second in the LMPH class and then first and third in the GT3. So they'll be a very happy group of boys there tonight. So there you go, Commander Jim. Huds, thank you so much for the help with the cameras there tonight.
No probs.
And it looks like we can just go down there. Devil X and also Nürburger retired on lap 11, so it's a shame there. But we're talking about Dado. He actually had 2 extra pit stops, so that's a quick telling point there. If he didn't have to have those extra 2 pit stops, where do you think he might have been there, Huds? When you think that each pit stop was about another 40-odd seconds added to their time.
It's difficult to say, but...
maybe challenging for second, maybe?
Oh, certainly, but hindsight's a great thing. But he had problems, and that's the reality. So
Okay. All right, well, we'll check out. We'll make that the end. So congratulations to our winners of that motor race, Logical Sports and Night Havoc. Until we come to you again in this endurance series for round 2 at Monza, which, what did I say that was Saturday the 8th of May. We're looking forward to bringing that to you. But next week we'll be back for the GT5 Cup, the Ginetta Cup, our first series for 2021. So look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you guys, and see you then. Have a good night.
see you guys.